math. 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Young and the Restless. I'm Andrew, and this is my cat, Summy.
I'm Brian, and I don't have a cat.
And I'm Nick.
And sorry we were away. You know, just life caught up with us.
Enjoying Halloween. I went to Florida. I don't know if that was before or after.
He's a Florida boy now.
Yeah, I live in Florida now.
I'm an island boy.
Island boy.
That shit gets stuck in my head sometimes.
I forgot about. Is that Island boy?
Island boy.
Oh
God.
Yeah. So what do you guys want to talk about? You want to talk about Full Gear since it's tonight?
Yeah, we can do that.
Let's do it up. I'm so excited for wrestling. I actually have it on downstairs right now, Survivor Series 2001.
Nice.
This has nothing to do with AEW. I'm just saying.
I was watching the YouTube thing that I was telling you guys about. The like it's essentially like when you would order the pay-per-view and they would show like the 40-minute promo like on repeat before it would start. That's what
I think they did that last night, but I turned it off and went to bed.
Yeah, it's very good. I told my girlfriend to watch it. We're having a little potluck tonight. I'm making wangs.
Is she still coming over?
Yes, she is. She's bringing mac and cheese.
Nice. I get a night off from Camille.
Angie and Derek are coming, and they're bringing deviled eggs.
Oh,
Jesus.
the devil.
Yeah.
We gotta go to Sam's Club.
Yep, and then we're going to Sam's Club after this. Yeah. Got to pick up some non-alcoholic White Claws, a.k.a. LaCroix.
Ooh, actually, that might be a good idea.
What?
I need to buy some weapons.
Yeah. Wait, what? Do they sell guns at Sam's Club?
No. But they probably sell baseball bats.
And like a trash
Chairs.
can.
Yeah.
Some
so before we get into
frying
AEW,
pans.
Nick, do you want to talk about why you need to buy some weapons?
I mean, I guess we can. So tomorrow I'm in a hardcore match, or I guess what are they calling
It's
it?
a body shop
Body
brawl
shop brawl.
at Beefalo Bob's.
All right, Beefalo Bob's, a pit beef
restaurant.
facility. Yeah.
I don't drink anymore, but
Beef
the last time I
facility.
went there, I was fucking hammered
So it's gonna
off
be
of
weird.
$50.
Like, I wonder how much I can get away with. Like, because they're gonna have a restaurant open to the public. Can I take him into the restaurant?
I don't know. Like,
Right? Like,
that's
Shove
like some
wings in his
remember when
face?
Stone Cold and Booker T did the grocery store
right
spot?
Like I thought
that
about
was
like if I just what are they gonna do? Kick us out? No.
So if we say...
I'll just grab a pit beef and throw it in his face.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What if one of us has one ring?
Yeah, so the last time I had the beer and I gave you the beer and you were like drinking it and stuff.
Shove
so
food in his face.
Oh,
Yo, fatty.
dude, I could just get like a cheap just like their single pit beef and like
I'll get two.
some
Eat one of them.
fries.
I mean, I'll give you money.
Yeah, and then
is a
and
good
I'll just
idea.
I'll just be sitting there holding them. Like, that's pretty good.
Because like the venue is small, so I thought about like how stupid would it be? Not stupid, like funny. Like if we went into the back and just walked outside, and you could watch us through the windows, walk back around and come back in through the main entrance, and then
That'd
back
be
towards
cool.
the ring.
Isn't there like a... Because
there's the windows.
There's the
and stuff.
windows,
Yeah.
so you could see us go around and then come right back in through the door.
How funny would it be if you like shoved him and like punched him and then did like the canoe thing?
Elevator.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like the escalator.
Yeah,
Like,
the escalator.
just walked out to the basement.
And then come back in.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. I think you're hitting home runs today.
Yeah, that one spot that you told us, I was like, yes, excellent. Yeah, so AEW Full Gear got the card here from CBS, WWE, even though it's AEW. I think the card looks great, personally. Like
I'm very excited.
we got Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World Championship.
Are we doing predictions?
If you want to. I think Hangman's going to win.
Yeah, I think Hangman's gonna win.
I think it's about that time. I know that it feels natural to get the belt off Kenny at this point.
And the way that Hangman kind of just came back and has pushed, it makes sense that would be give it to him.
And then
Yeah.
he was in the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man suit on the Halloween episode. That was great. They were all supposed to dress up as Squid Game members.
Dude,
the Elite.
I got 6 episodes into that and gave up.
I have not even started it yet.
Did not enjoy it.
Don't care to. Yeah, so we all agree Hangman's the guy.
Yeah, unless somebody else comes in and fucks him over.
I
think he's got it.
because I know at the contract signing they weren't allowed to be at the ringside, and that's why Don Callis had the camera and the mustache.
As a wrestling fan, I feel like it's just time. Like AEW has now represented itself and presented itself as a stable, good promotion. That you don't need a name like Kenny Omega to be champion anymore. Let someone who the fans are now getting behind, a younger talent, to take over the reins as a champion.
Yeah, I also think that Hangman as a wrestler has gotten more confident, because I was reading an interview with him, and he said that when he was in Bullet Club in New Japan, that he was like super self-conscious because he was surrounded by like Adam Cole, like Cody Rhodes,
and he didn't have
like,
to do much, right?
Yeah, and he didn't have to do much. Where like now, and that's why him and Kenny tag teamed at the beginning of it, so that he could kind of build up that confidence and all that. And I think like now he's like super over. Like there's like little kids and stuff. Like it's like great. Like he's
Little
like
kids love yelling cowboy shit.
Yeah, and then I remember when we were watching the pay-per-view at Beefalo Bob's, I kept saying country shit because Hoss was in there, and then he looked like he was going to kick my ass because he thought I was saying country is shit. But I was also like 20 natty bows deep.
So you may have been saying that.
Oh, no, I did tell that one really tall wrestler that I didn't like him.
So if Hangman wins... isn't there the Eliminator tournament tonight?
Yes. So the next one on here is, the next one is the AEW Women's Champion, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus Tay Conti. Tay's getting a push, and then Britt Baker keeps talking about her butt, and how she like that's the only reason she signed. But at the same time, it's like Tay Conti's fucking great, and I also like that they're teaming her up with Anna Jay a lot. And doing the Tay and Jay.
Tay and Jay.
I still think Britt Baker's gonna hold on to that shit a little bit longer.
I think she's gonna hold on to it for
at least 451 days, to match Kenny Omega.
I think Tay Conti will eventually get it, but not yet.
She's so young too. She's like 23. Like she's got time.
I feel like I see her name everywhere.
I don't think it's. I mean, what do I know? But like, I feel like a division that isn't great yet.
No,
let someone with face value hold the belt as long as you possibly can until you have enough talent behind them to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, because if you watch like Dark and Elevation, like there are a lot of female wrestlers. They're just not ready for TV yet, and so they like a lot of people are complain about how AEW is like watching WWE in like the 90s because it's like a 2-minute women's match that doesn't really add up to nothing. But it's like at the same time, it's like, where the fuck has Rio been? Remember her? She was the first AEW women's champion.
And then she came back for a little bit, and now she's gone again.
And then like where's like Sheeta? Like she's like hit or miss like here and there and stuff like that.
Maybe it has something to do with visas.
I think it probably has a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think Britt's gonna hold on to it. CBS also agrees with us. Says pick Dr. Britt Baker, DMD retains the title. Now here's the eliminator match: Bryan Danielson versus Miro. I think this is gonna be a fucking barnstormer.
Who's gonna win?
CBS says Miro wins.
I say Miro.
I say Miro as well because they fought in WWE.
He's going to challenge for the belt after that?
Yeah, for Hangman. He's going after Hangman.
No, I think that you got to pull the trigger on Daniel Bryan.
I think, but here's the thing. Miro's God's chosen champion. That's his whole gimmick, is that he's not the best man anymore. He's God's champion or God's chosen one or whatever. But
difficult.
I think the thing with that, I think what this is to I can see Danielson going over and winning because he's like that very fast, like has a lot of heart and like guts, like
he's
veteran.
won every match since
he's won every match. But Miro at the same time has only lost once, and that was to Sammy Guevara.
I guess it really comes down to when does Tony want to pull the trigger on that, which I feel like if Hangman does win, would you really want to put that angle together so soon? Like that's an angle you could
You're talking about
build up
Bryan and
Hangman. You could build that up for a year.
Yeah.
But like if you want to have Miro do something for a little bit, I feel like it'd make more sense for Miro to come in and lose to Hangman a couple times and let Bryan hang in the back and still kind of be like, it's going to happen and you're just waiting for it to happen. Why have it happen here and then that's it, right?
Yeah.
I could see Bryan Danielson coming in and being like, hey, like to Hangman Page being like, hey man, time to like step up to the fucking big leagues. You're champ. You want to face me, kind of thing.
I can also see him being like that kind of like, what was it? Back in like the Ruthless Aggression era, there was like one when it was like two. No, I'm not talking about. It was the four-way. It was the four-way dance, and it was the Shield when Seth Rollins was out, and I believe Brock Lesnar or somebody else, and they did the 3-man power bomb on the one guy, and then Dean and Roman got rid of Seth, and then they were both in the ring, and then they were like kind of facing off, and then they shook hands, and then Roman Reigns says loser buys beers. And like I can see like that kind of thing, like that like very friendly competition, like kind of build like two faces going after it.
Yeah, because I mean, you're not going to believe Daniel Bryan as being a heel, but it could be like a friendly competitive thing for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then Hangman just going over Daniel Bryan, because who else is Bryan Daniel? I keep saying his name different every time. Bryan Danielson going to lose to? Who's he going to fucking lose
CM
to?
Punk.
Yeah, and here's the thing. They need to put CM Punk in a better position soon, too.
Because next
he's
up,
getting old.
CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston. I think Eddie Kingston's going to win because he's been getting a lot of press. I think this is going to be the turning point where we see CM Punk start to do that heel, because he's so good at being a heel and a face.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to kind of turn him to be like that stone cold, like anti-hero.
I'd be in.
Yeah.
He's kind of getting stale for me.
Yeah, CBS says CM Punk is going to win, and I call bullshit. Nick, who do you...
I think Eddie Kingston wins, but, I mean, it could go either way. I think, in my head, I feel like it makes sense for Eddie Kingston to go over. But at the same time, I understand the money push of keeping CM Punk big as fuck for as long as you can keep him big as fuck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is
I think he can afford to lose one, I think losing to Eddie would be fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't really hurt his value, right? It doesn't hurt CM Punk's value too much.
I guess it depends what kind of fan you're talking to.
Yeah.
I could also see, like Eddie winning because like Moxley went to rehab. That's a news story we can talk about too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I could see Eddie kind of doing it for John, like that kind of thing. At the same time, this is saying that Punk and Kingston have been telling a truly incredible story through their promos, and
it's been very fucking
It's been
cool.
very good. And then Eddie Kingston recently released that article.
Yeah, like Eddie Kingston shouldn't fucking be here or something.
Yeah, and talking about how he was in the process of moving in with his mom when he got the call from Tony Khan that they hired him.
Pretty cool story.
Cool story,
Good
bro.
for that dude.
Moving on.
We got
a lot to talk about. Yeah. Inner Circle versus Men of the Year and American Top Team. We're finally going to see Dan Lambert get his fucking ass kicked. Fucking blame millennials one more time, motherfucker. I'll throw this goddamn cat at you. Yeah, so it's Jericho, Hager, Guevara, Santana, and Ortiz versus Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky, Junior DeSantos, Andre Arlovsky, and Dan Lambert.
And Paige Van Zandt at ringside.
Yeah, so I think this one is because they were saying that Junior DeSantos is actually like very interested in wrestling. And,
I feel like this is gonna be a clusterfuck though.
Yeah, like
yeah, probably.
Dude, because you have
something bad's gonna happen.
You have Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky who are like pretty decent wrestlers. Like when AEW first started, I love Scorpio Sky. Like I thought it was great. Now I hate his character. Love him as a person. But I think Junior DeSantos, like when you get like 3 MMA dudes who we don't know the amount of training they've done in, with like in how many times they've been to the Nightmare Factory. But at the same time, like I can see like Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky kind of carrying the match and then tagging them in to do like a spot.
Junior DeSantos looked good in that one match that he did on Dynamite. They said that he had an hour of training beforehand. Yeah. And then he fucking crushed it. I think he looked great.
Is that the one where Dan Lambert put Chris Jericho into the walls of Jericho and kept yelling Boston Crab, AWA, 1979, like just rattling off fucking facts? It was this Wednesday. But
no, this was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I just thought that was so stupid that like he's like, put him in the walls of Jericho, put him in the walls of Jericho, and like Dan Lambert puts him in it, and they put a mic in to cut a promo, and he's like, Boston Crab, 1979, AWA, Superfly Jimmy He's just like naming random shit, and I'm just like, Okay, dog. Like, I get it. Or he said Rocky Johnson, because, like, apparently Rocky Johnson invented it. But whatever. CBS says Inner Circle is going to win. I have to agree because they haven't had a lot going on with them other than not getting the vaccine. Allegedly. Yeah, so any other...
I'm with you. I don't think America's top team. I don't think they're going to win.
Also, like, the Inner Circle, because Chris Jericho is in there, Chris Jericho is a huge proponent of, like, you have to tag somebody to get into the ring. Like, Inner Circle is very good at, like, one person in the ring at a time. Like, and the only time somebody else comes in is, like, submission to break up a submission or a pin. I think this is gonna be like a Young Bucks match where, like, everybody from American Top Team is gonna be in the ring at the same time. But that's just me. I don't know. I'm just a fucking fat armchair booker. Next up, we have the AEW Tag Team Championship. The Lucha Brothers champions versus FTR.
Are the AAA titles on the line?
Nope, just the AEW Tag Team Champions.
I think Lucha Bros.
Lucha Bros win.
Lucha Brothers is gonna win. Yeah,
I fucking love them.
Dude, Dax Harwood put on a good fucking clinic the other night, though.
The singles match?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I've been listening to a lot of Busted Open Radio, so I've been using a lot of lingo because Bully Ray does. And Mark Henry is so fucking boring on that show, though.
Dude, his thing on Rampage where he goes, and now it's time for the main event. He does it every week.
Dude, I like how they
laugh.
I keep blocking my face from the camera, but I like how the big thing was like AEW Rampage. We're gonna have Hall of Famer Mark Henry on commentary. He did 2 episodes, and then they were like, "Hey, Chris, can you go sit there?"
Yeah.
And I love Chris Jericho on commentary, like how he just goes over the top on it. I also am I'm an Alpha Club member, you know. Yeah, but anyways, so they say Lucha Brothers is gonna win. Yeah. Another one, we got Darby Allin versus MJF, 2 of the pillars going up against each other. Who do you guys think is gonna go on this one?
Motherfucking MJF.
Yeah, I think it has to be MJF, right?
I have to agree with whoever wrote this listicle, Darby Allin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think this is gonna be the one that kind of puts. I mean, MJF. I don't think he's ever had a title though.
They have. I don't get why they don't push him.
Because he's such a controversial character.
They just
maybe?
let him talk, and then
he has the ring,
and they get him to a point, and then they drop him back down, and then he talks his way back up, and then they drop him back down. It's like, give the man something.
He's gonna have to get in the titles picture at some point.
At some point, or he's just gonna fall flat. It's gonna get boring.
Well, him versus Sammy Guevara would be good. Him taking the TV championship.
It's starting to feel like a Rick Rude thing, where it's like,
playing with John Cena.
Well, I saw Nick playing with him, and I'm like, I want to see it now.
Okay.
like it's gonna get to a point where it's like, you're just like a good character, but there's nothing to it. Right?
Yeah, or
you
like
know?
Jake the Snake. He's never had a title, but
I guess not really. No.
Yeah. Yeah. So
World's Biggest Drunk is his title.
That is a title.
Just kidding. That's mean.
Allegedly. Remember, allegedly.
Allegedly.
So you guys think MJF? I'm gonna say Darby Allin, even though I'm kind of leaning towards MJF now that I think about it, because he won the ring and he uses it as a weapon. And then I do love Wardlow though.
I know. I don't know why you do.
Because he's a big beef boy, and I like my big old beef boys. We got Christian Cage and Jurassic Express versus Super Click, which is Adam Cole and the Young Bucks. Who do you think's gonna win? I think the Super Click, because did you see that? So Bobby Fish is like Adam Cole's like mercenary.
Yeah.
Now, AEW did a thing on their YouTube where it's like, whoever Bobby Fish, like, it was like in the thumbnail is Adam Cole talking to Bobby Fish, giving him the orders to like go kill that one person, and then it's like blah 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 is gonna learn that there's undisputed consequences, and I was like, yeah, baby.
So stupid.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the Super Click is gonna win.
I think so.
Nick, you agree?
I love Jungle Boy's new beard.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's a pretty nice beard.
Jungle Boy Jack Priestley.
No, I think Super Click wins. I mean,
And then that's the whole card.
they're not gonna lose a match ever.
That's it.
That's the card.
That feels good. That's a good length of a card. Nothing feels like a waste.
Yeah, there's not like, like there are some cool down matches in there, but I thought there was a match with Cody Rhodes. Oh, the Malachi Black, Cody Rhodes, Pac, and Andrade. This guy.
Galidolo.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the one match that I think they might do that on the pre-show, maybe.
Maybe. Who do you have for that one?
Well, I fucking hate Cody Rhodes.
I love Cody.
I mean, I like him as a character. I don't really like him as a person. Pac, like I'm indifferent towards. I love Malachi Black. I'm indifferent towards Andrade, but like those two characters, like it's like when they put these guys together, their only thing is that their partner hates the opposite person on the other team. There's nothing else. Like it's like the reason Cody Rhodes got involved is because he saw Pac getting beat up by Malachi Black and he came through the thing. Love his lucha character on Dark though.
I've never seen it.
Dude, they're called like it's a little kind of weird. Cody, you guys talk real quick.
I saw it randomly.
Rhodes.
I think maybe I saw it because I remember them talking about how they're like, oh, that's not Cody, but
Yeah.
it was. It's like how Superman looks
Clark
exactly
Kent.
like Clark Kent, but
Or Owen Hart
Clark has
is the
glasses.
blue blazer.
Oh yeah, that was a better analogy.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, that's not Cody.
Cody Rhodes is not happy about fans thinking he's become a luchador in AEW.
He must really have nothing to do. He's fucking going on there.
It was on Dark, my dude.
No.
Not even Elevation. Dark.
He must either love wrestling
He's a narcissist too.
or he wants to get away from his new baby.
We know another narcissist too, but we're not going to name any names here.
We won't.
So moving on from that. So I'm excited. I think this is gonna be a great match. I don't know what I'm more excited for: hanging out with friends and like actually enjoying like a pay-per-view with like people safely and vaccinated, and having a little potluck. We're gonna clear this table off, put all the food and the non-alcoholic White Claws up in here on a cooler. Or I forgot what the thing is.
Yeah, I mean, what you said sounded pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm just excited for that. Yeah, so I'm just really excited to and then there's people coming tonight who like don't really like Angie and Derek. They don't really know. They came to WrestleMania and like other than that, and they're like, "Oh, are you doing it outside?" And I was like, "No,
It's fucking cold.
yeah,
You're
no,
cold.
No, my projector will break." So going on from something that seems really cool to something that was not cool, WWE released more people.
Yeah, it happened.
Nia Jax.
I'm fine with that.
She's unvaccinated. That's it. Like
She
that's
also hurts people.
yeah. So does Charlotte Flair. But Charlotte Flair has more
Clout.
Money.
Money, too.
money. Yeah. Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux released.
I see that they were why they got rid of Karrion Kross.
I never thought that he was over in NXT.
He was just undefeated.
Yeah, like he did nothing for me in NXT, and then brought him up. I was like, well, I still don't give a fuck.
He
Yeah,
had like
didn't like
the
him.
WWE look. He
Sure.
was 6'6". He was jacked. He's ripped. When he had Scarlett, he had that really fucking cool intro of her doing like the witchy Scarlet Witch shit, and then him being like, "Arr!" And then they gave him a fucking sex mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And let him get beat by Jeff Hardy. Like,
That killed him.
yeah,
terrible gimmick.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And Scarlett, if she wasn't going with him to the main roster, then of course she was getting let go. She just didn't make an impact.
She's not a
enough.
wrestler. I don't think she ever wrestled.
She wrestles, but
She's wrestled.
Yeah, she was in Impact.
I don't think she wrestled in NXT. Though.
No,
No,
she
was
wrestled
just
in
as valet.
TNA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the reason that I heard that they released him is that he just wasn't getting over, and that he was old. And old being...
How old is he?
He's born in 1983 or 1984. He's like 3
So
or 4
he's
years
40?
older than me, so he's 38, 37, 38. I can
That's
look it
close.
up right here. Karrion Kross. How old are you, buddy?
Which I mean, I get. I
Yeah,
get.
so he's 36 years old. He's the same age as Andy.
Okay, he's not
Yeah.
that old.
And Alex Ovechkin.
Who looks like he's like 50.
And whose English is impeccable.
For a man who's lived here for a very long time.
Yeah, exactly. He's been here for like 20 years. But anyways, yeah. So that kind of sucks. I mean, he didn't really get a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like on the main roster, like they never really. I feel like it was the whole like Vince McMahon doesn't like Triple H's NXT and like just like when they brought up like Gargano and Ciampa and all of them, and then they were just like, let's throw these fucking people together and then not do anything with them.
Yeah, I mean,
and just have them be the cool down matches. Like
it does suck, I guess, for people losing their job, and like no one wants to see that. But like, it kind of rubs me weird that people like are shitting on them for cutting these people. It's like at the same time,
it's a business.
It's a business, and they have a fucking huge roster that they're doing nothing with.
Yeah,
like I get like. You're upset that these people didn't get a push in a entertainment company. It's like this is kind of how it fucking works. Like how many like actors are better actors and people don't get good movie roles and musicians or whatnot. Like it's shitty. But at the same time, like let them be able to go and work independence and make a new name for themselves.
Probably make more money.
I also don't think. Like, so we can also talk about Ring of Honor. Did we talk about that? Ring of Honor closing?
Yeah.
On the last episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, but, because I talked about Tony Khan should buy it as a thing. But, like, now that Ring of Honor isn't around, like, the big ones you have now are, like, alternatives or AEW, which should not sign them because their roster is getting
huge.
It's getting too inflated too quickly. You have MLW, which is doing great. They have, they keep, Vice and them keep saying like talking about a show, and then there was like 2 events on there, and then like nothing. But like the YouTube show that I think it's called Alpha is awesome. You also have GCW, which is a thing, and then you have like future stars from Hollywood. Like those, like
yeah. I mean, there's big ones around.
Mm-hmm. Like I mean, there are like bigger local. Like independents that could like pay them money like to keep them on retainer,
sure.
But I don't think he's like and then there's Impact, and I feel like Karrion Kross is like an Impact guy. Like his like Impact does the spooky weird gimmicks really well, and I feel like that's where
I mean there's a good one right now in Georgia that's taken off that has a local
Duffy the Duffy Championship Wrestling from Heels.
No.
Stephen Emil's thing?
No, I believe it's just like
Georgia Championship Wrestling.
Yes.
Okay.
But they have a TV deal with like TBS down there.
Oh.
And they do very well for themselves, and like there's plenty of opportunities for people to
I do feel like
make a career.
I do feel like with AEW kind of bursting onto the scene and like opening up all those forbidden doors, it has given like people who never really were like internet wrestling fans like more like I never really watched Impact, and I was like, holy shit, the Good Brothers are in Impact, like that's cool. And I feel like he kind of opened up like the territories again, like what if we all band together to make all of us stronger together instead of just like each of us fighting each other and WWE, even though I don't think that's it's two different it's like Pepsi and Coke, like they're not going after each other. I drink Coke because it's the better product. Like if you drink Pepsi, you're a fucking idiot.
Who else got released?
Keith Lee, Bearcat Keith Lee.
That was kind of a shocker. Again, I feel like they already had Big E, and they didn't know how to have another big African American wrestler without having the same gimmick. That's how I kind of felt about it, because like I don't know. I mean, like they tried so many different things, and maybe because he was also older.
Yeah, so he was the same. He was 85, so he's 36. Yeah,
I don't.
He's the
think
same
they know
age
what
as
to
Biggie.
do with him.
Yeah, they don't know what to do. Like
they should have just left the Limitless thing and not touched it. I think his character was good.
That's the thing, is like he came up, and apparently Vince thought that because he was fat, he couldn't move, he couldn't talk, like all this other stuff. And it's like the writers didn't write anything for him. His first match on the thing, he beat Randy Orton clean. Like it's like. And then Vince McMahon's like, put a fucking shirt on, put pants on, like, like wear this fucking overcoat, like, and it's
that
like
dude's
wear
not
more.
even fucking fat.
No.
He's just giant.
Yeah, you know, it's like I'm overweight, but I don't think I'm like fat. You know, like I can go to the store and buy pants. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to order them online anymore. You know, but and I feel like Keith, like look at this with Keith Lee and Brock Lesnar, like that. I could see that being the main event of a WrestleMania or a Royal Rumble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean
I love Keith Lee. I think it's unfortunate.
I had to get rid of him from AWJ. Lightning had to release him as well, and I feel so bad. 2 releases in a month.
It also blows my mind, like, that people are like so up in arms. It's like there's no one saying that they can't come back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, he could be back in a couple months.
Daniel Bryan was fired and hired twice.
Yeah. I mean, if they want to keep him, they'll just renegotiate.
And even if they go somewhere else, like, who's to say that WWE is going to stay on this trajectory forever? Like, at some point, it has to change, right?
There is going to be a day when Vince McMahon passes away, and whoever Triple H, Stephanie, Shane, or Nick Khan is going to take over, and then they're going to fucking fire Nick Khan and fire Pete and fire Dunn and fire like the old guard and bring in like these not so young guys like, you know, like Road Dogg and Shawn Michaels and all that. And I feel like they kind of get modern wrestling a lot better than like Dunn and McMahon.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Like, why the fuck is John Laurinaitis back? All he's known for is hitting on young chicks.
He's never been. I've
think he
always
left.
liked that. Did not like that guy.
He's Road Warrior Hawk's brother. That's why he's there. And he's the Bree's father-in-law or
yeah,
stepfather
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on, we got Eva Marie got released.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank God.
she shouldn't have came back.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Her thing with Dewdrop wasn't horrible though. It could have been worse.
Gave us Piper Niven as Dewdrop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is a dewdrop? Because I just found out that there's a dewdrop inn not too far from here.
Yeah. A Dewdrop is like water dew.
Okay,
It's a drop.
What's a Dewdrop in?
it's a bar.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought
It's
it
like
was
it's like
motel.
Dio dropping. I've been there. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Did you drop in?
I did drop in and I fell out of my fucking bar stool.
I do dropped.
I dropped my beer as well. Yes.
Your Mountain Dew?
Yeah, now it's a Mountain Dew. Now it's a Mountain Dew drop in. Do not drop your Mountain Dew in the Dew drop in. Mia Yim got released. Keith Lee's fiance, who took care of him during his COVID thing when he almost fucking died.
Was that Reckoning? Was that her name or something?
she was like the one that everybody's mad at because she had a seizure when really she was just like throwing a tantrum.
I've always liked Mia Yim.
Yeah, I always thought she was cool.
I mean, she's from here, so like I grew up watching
Oh,
her. Yeah,
Didn't know that.
yeah, she wrestled in TNA as Jade, and that was like her indie name.
She was big in TNA, wasn't she?
She was big in TNA. She was huge in NXT as well. Yeah, she's just one of those people that's just an all around great. I could see her being one of like if she did get rehired by WWE and they put her directly in the program with like Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch, and then Mia Yim shows up and is like, I'm the one that actually deserves to be here. Like I could see that like straight to the moon. Like that's a missile going off, not a missile coming down.
So yeah. So I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but Mia Yim is from Northern Virginia. So she used to do all the MCW stuff, and it's just a kind of a funny thing. But one of the reasons that she had a hard time getting over a lot is she's very sensitive.
Huh.
Like if you touch her,
Oh, like she's like skin sensitive?
yeah, like ticklish or like
oh.
yeah. So like if you go to like grapple, she would like freak out. So it was always kind of funny back in the
Weird.
day. Yeah.
You know who's like that? Rick.
If you
But he was a wrestler.
yeah.
Yeah, if you like touch him, if you like poke him, he's like, "Ugh." I'm like, yeah, he's my cousin. I know that shit.
Weird.
Yeah.
Me, I just flinch at everything.
I think if any of these, out of all the people who were released, I would guess Keith Lee, Mia Yim are going to AEW.
They're going to do things for sure.
I mean, who wouldn't hire Keith Lee or Mia Yim? I don't think anybody else is going to touch Eva Marie. aside from WWE.
I feel like those two have, even though they didn't really do them as like an on-screen character, but like you just see them behind the scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
Those two have better on-camera chemistry than Seth and Becky.
Yeah, I mean, they just may not want the chemistry to be shown, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, when you book Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, you want them to be like singles.
But when they did the whole like, guys, guess what? They're married. Like, let's put them together. Like,
But I mean, some people also just like show their emotions, differently than others. Like some people are very PDA and touchy feely. Some people just aren't like that.
I'm a very like touchy feely, like let me hug you type thing, and Becky's like, oh no, I hate you.
See, I am, but like in private situations, I don't like it in like public kind of thing.
I like holding hands. I like looking at each other.
Yeah, I don't like the holding hands thing. Like to me, like it's
raindrops keep falling on man.
Skipping down the street.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Moving on. Ember Moon was released.
Yeah, that was kind of shocking.
I thought she would have been great for this new NXT.
Yeah.
Dude, just like as being like a locker room leader type person. It's because she plays her Nintendo too much. She's a geek. She's a nerd. No, but it's because she was older. Like they essentially just got rid of everybody that was over the age. The memo that came out said they got rid of all women who were over the age of 26.
Jeez.
And they're not to hire anybody over the age of 25. So I don't know if they have like, I mean, they're technically they are employees, but they're registered as contractors, so they don't really have like an ageism case. But
it's interesting though, right? Because like every type of sport has gone through something like that, where it's like, right. So for example, like baseball right now is going through a very young phase, where for a while it was like no one really wanted the younger guys. You would sign a bunch of 35-year-olds, right? Mm-hmm. And now no one's signing the 35-year-olds. Now the maximum age most players are playing are 31, and then they're not being forced to retire, but they're like, we're not going to sign you, so go find something else to do.
yeah.
And it's interesting how like it kind of goes in waves, where it's like, okay, the younger guys or the older guys are more veterans, they know what they're doing, and now people are like, we'd rather have people that we're gonna.
I think if they kind of gradually did it, like it wouldn't be as shocking. But like the fact that like they were like, we're firing all these people. Yeah. Here's the new NXT. Fucking like it or don't. And
I think that's Nick Khan more than anything.
It is. It's him and Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard. But hockey's like very similar, because hockey's like one of the very few sports where like you can play it right out of high school, and like there's a lot of like, and it's very European and Canadian sport. So like you get a lot of like European kids. Like for example, like Alex Ovechkin made his debut when he was like 18 years old for the Capitals. And he's 35 or he's 36 now.
But isn't that kind of like the talk? It's like, because
when did
Gretzky retire? He was like in his 40s, right?
Yeah. So it's like the thing is like a lot of players like retire before they're 30 because you're beating the shit out of each other. You're skating with broken ankles and just sucking it up. Like they say, like hockey players are more tough than rugby players, and rugby players are supposed to be like the most tough. But it's like, dude, it's like, I think like, don't quote me on this, but it's like just one of those random facts that I have in the back of my head is like the oldest hockey player was like 47, and that was a dinosaur, and he also was the last one to not wear a helmet.
Like I think like what it is that like before, everyone that was good and young, they always felt like they needed more experience, right? And you wanted people to kind of put them under a microscope and watch them. But today's age, you don't need that. Everyone has the ability to get the experience and time anywhere, right? There's facilities that are top state of the art, depending on what other sport you're playing. It is very easy to go from a very good player to a superstar in like a 2-year span than it was 5 years, right? Because the level of competition is so good now. It's not like you're the best player playing against a bunch of shitty kids. You're the best player playing a bunch of guys who are really fucking good as well.
Yeah. So, like, for example, like, Kuznetsov, he's Ovechkin's, like, little brother, essentially, and Kuznetsov is, like, born in, like, 94 or something. He's, like, one of my favorite players, but, like, Ovi kind of took him under his wing and kind of was like, hey, we're both from the same town in Russia, like blah, blah, blah. But, and you're kind of seeing like Ovechkin kind of pass the guard. But Ovechkin's like 38 years old and still scoring like fucking hat tricks in every game. I know we're going to stop talking about hockey because Lucha House Party, Grand Metalik, and Lance Cerrito were released as well.
Lucha House Party. That's a bummer. Hey, did you see REI Davari last night?
Yeah, doing his rap stuff.
No.
Wait, who? Wait, what?
He was a guy who was signed to WWE, and now he's on AEW. That's about it.
For some reason, I was thinking you were thinking of REI, like the rock climbing gym.
Yeah. Have you guys been to REI?
I've been there once.
I like it.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
I don't know how to say it. REI. I think it's literally REI.
It's Arya Daivari. He's Persian. That's it.
Yeah,
Like,
he went to AEW. That was it.
Cool.
Yeah. I was just trying to change the subject because I don't know hockey.
Yeah. Oni Lorkin got released. He's
I don't even
old.
know what that is.
He's an NXT guy.
The Orkin man.
Yeah, Frankie Monet, John Morrison's wife, she got released because she was 38. Too old to be there.
How old's John Morrison?
John Morrison's like 40.
Yeah, he's old.
Yeah. Harry Smith, Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Yeah, he never got another chance.
Yeah,
Kind of a bummer.
It's a bummer.
Who else did WWE release in 2012? Screen Rant asks. And it's just like a bunch of like the trainees that like never really did anything. And like front office staff.
That's fine with me. Like I want my WWE. I want a roster of like 35 people tops.
Yeah, it's definitely too many. And every time we do the draft, I'm looking at it like, when did they get all these fucking people?
Yeah, so like when I had
many.
to get rid of Keith Lee and I got rid of Tegan Knox yesterday, and when I was looking at the list, I was like, half of these people aren't fucking on TV.
Exactly, and it's just hard to follow sometimes when there's like you're trying to push 20 million stories. Give me 2 big storylines with a bunch of mid-card guys who are working their way up.
I feel like that's why the Attitude Era is like so cherished, is because there were only like 20 wrestlers total. And
There's so many good stories, though.
but you had
everybody
like
had a story.
You had mid-carders like Ken Shamrock, Steve Blackman, like all these people, the Legion of Doom 2000, D'Lo Brown.
But they weren't doing anything that's going to overshadow what the big storylines on Raw and SmackDown were. Like every show revolved around that storyline, whether it be Rock and Stone Cold or whatever.
So for example, my mom was super Catholic, super religious, did not like spooky shit at all, like hated horror movies. I wasn't allowed to own anything with a skull on it, and I wasn't allowed to own a Ouija board. But I was allowed to watch wrestling. But when Ministry of Darkness would come on, she would leave the room. But when like the Nation of Domination were going after like the bikers, she was like, "This is awesome," and she also loved Stone Cold, who was in on the whole thing. But yeah,
Spoiler.
yeah, all over everything. Yeah, so Nia Jax reveals post WWE name with lingerie photo drop.
Good for her.
I think she's gonna go back to modeling. She was a model before.
She's beautiful.
She's beautiful. Yeah.
She's not a good wrestler.
Lena, Lina, and the post just says Lena here, and then it's her in lingerie.
Okay.
Yep. That's about it for news.
That's about it, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, we can touch on Moxley if we want.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
so
we can talk about that.
yeah. So Moxley went to rehab. Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it never really occurred to me that he wasn't one of those people that ever you're like, that guy has a fucking problem.
He was
You
getting.
think so? I kind of noticed it. You could tell that his demeanor and that like his face. You could tell in his face
was getting chubbier and like redder.
And
Yeah.
red. You could tell that he was.
I thought that was
drinking.
just
He was
like
drinking
him
a lot.
getting the
Yeah.
dad bod because his wife just had a baby. I thought that was just like
Could have been.
No,
but he
I mean,
looked
it,
like he
it
was
looked
fucked
like
up.
he was
well,
intoxicated.
It never really looked. It appeared to me that he never seemed to be intoxicated in the ring, like that. It was like
No,
It may have not been.
because like
Yeah.
on the dark side of the rings and stuff, he always talks about like the best part after a wrestling match is having a beer and smoking a cigarette backstage, and I'm like, hell yeah, brother. Like
Sure it is, but then that party keeps fucking going.
doesn't stop, right?
exactly, yeah, that was my problem.
I would bet that it didn't. all right, I don't know the guy, but he seems like a pretty good guy. I'm assuming it didn't affect his home life too much, but he probably just realized on his own, like, this can't be a sustainable thing.
Kind of like me. Like, where I was just like, I'm getting in too much trouble with this type of stuff.
Well, I mean, everyone has their own reasons for doing it, right? Yeah. I mean, we don't know what he was going through mentally either, right?
Yeah,
and it was just Tony Khan was like, hey, like, John said it was okay for me to do this. Like, he's entering rehab. Like, we're paying for it. Like
him and Renee still could have been having a very healthy marriage, but he internally may have been struggling.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's different aspects to alcoholism.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're here with people who've done it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And dude, like, I know how hard of a decision it is to, like, go and face the fact that you have to go to rehab kind of thing. Something that I should have done, but opted out of 3 times, which was dumb as shit. If you think you gotta go, go. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I know the position he was in, and it's fucking scary, man. It's embarrassing too.
It is,
like,
right?
when
And it takes a lot for him to admit it, one, and then let everyone know, and then let them open up to the public with it, right?
Yeah.
Like, he could have hit it, and they could have wrote him off TV.
He was probably
never
hiding it
said a
pretty
word,
well.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I quit drinking the first time, it was so hard because I was still doing emo night. I was still working at a bar. I was still DJing. And it was so hard for me to still kind of sustain those, like, jobs and all of that while being around it, because, like, that temptation was still there. Thank God I still smoked weed, so I would just get high and forget it was there. But
a lot of alcoholics can't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the thing is like, I remember at first when people be like, "Oh, let me buy you a drink," I'd be like, "I don't drink," like that, and then eventually I got into that groove of just being like, "Oh no, I'm good, man. Thank you though." Like that type of thing. Like, it's kind of that abruptness that I did it, and still being in, like, I remember like, just one day I was leaving Sticky Rice. They were like, "Do you want your shift beer?" I was like, "Give me a Snapple." And then I went home, and then my life for the longest time was I went to work, I came home. I went to work, I came home. Like that.
And I think there's different levels of it too. Mm-hmm. Like I think at my lowest low, I was still able to go to work and function and everything, but like I was coming home and I was still drinking. Not a pint. What are the
tall boys? 24 ounces, deuce,
liquor,
a 40, a fifth.
A fifth. I was drinking a fifth of whiskey a night.
Yeah.
Going to bed, waking up, and going back to work. I'm like, well, I'm not an alcoholic. I don't feel like shit. I'm good. I'm not craving it. But now I go home and buy another $30 bottle and fucking kill it.
That was my thing where, like, I got a lot of shit on Thursday because I was trying to explain the difference between, like, me as, like, a binge drinker and somebody who's an alcoholic. I was like, I never woke up and craved it. I didn't need it to function. I never had the shakes. But the problem was I would have that first drink.
Once I started, I wasn't stopping.
And then I physically could not stop. And I remember when we went to the baseball game, I was like bragging about how I was drunk for 48 hours straight. And I lost the belt that I just got, and I found it behind the fucking couch.
Yeah.
Like, and I was just like...
Yeah, I mean, there's different levels to alcoholism. Once you cross that physical dependency is when it's like, it's a whole different fucking ballgame.
Because if you want to talk about
I'll talk about it to a point. But yeah, I mean, I was physically dependent for years. And then when I tried to wean myself off, fucking almost died. And then was in the hospital 3 times in like a month.
But I mean, I can talk about like I've seen my uncle, like, who every time that he tries to get off of it, he tries to go cold turkey.
You can't,
and then you can't. It almost kills him every fucking time he does.
Yeah, because that detox, like
your body, fucking your like potassium and something levels. Like basically my shit just dropped. So I had a seizure.
I remember when I had to go to those like alcohol classes when I got my DUI, I dropped this fact on you guys and you were like, no. And I was like, yeah, you can't die from heroin withdrawal, nicotine. You can't die from any type of drug withdrawal, but you can die from alcohol withdrawal, like 100%.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
I know that now.
Yeah, now. But I remember like dropping that fact when I was like, I'd like just got out of like these classes and I was like, I'm so informed. Let me go fucking get blitzed. Like, But
yeah, I mean, it's one of the worst. So commend him for getting help.
Yep. There we go.
Hopefully he comes back better than ever.
Dude,
Yeah,
because
hopefully.
remember when he came back as Dean Ambrose and he was like fucking jacked and had like the shaved head and shit? Imagine if he comes back and he's even more jacked and even
I'm
more
sure he
shaved
will,
head.
right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it depends on how long his stint in rehab's gonna be.
I mean, you'll lose a bunch of weight instantly just from.
I've lost like 10 pounds since I quit drinking like last month. But
There you go.
yeah. Anyways, so do you guys want to talk about the draft and then kind of wrap it up?
Yeah, we can do it. Let's do a quick scorecard update here.
Yeah, so still in first place, NPR Tiny Fed. You actually didn't do that well this week.
I did not. No, I did not.
So you got a win with Big E, you lost with Shayna, you lost with Matt Riddle, you lost with Randy Orton.
I'm blaming all the releases and them not knowing what they're doing at Survivor Series.
So you got 1 point, but you're still in the lead with 95 points.
So unless something crazy happens at Survivor Series,
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good about this.
Yeah, so I got rid of Tegan Knox and I got rid of WWE got rid of Keith Lee. So I picked up Humberto and Angel Garza because I love that tag team, and they've been on a winning streak. So I got a win for Humberto, a win for Sasha Banks, a loss for Roman Reigns because of DQ. Bobby Lashley was a win. Kevin Owens was a loss, and then Angel Garza, and then Carmella lost. So I had 8, which brought me up to 38. And then Brian, you lost 1 and won 1.
Who'd I win with?
You won with Xavier Woods by DQ. That was the Roman Reigns. It was a count out.
Don't I have Liv Morgan?
No.
No?
No, you had Liv Morgan last time. You have Jimmy, Jay, Kofi, Bianca, Brock, Karrion Kross. Gotta get rid of him. Doudrop, Mansoor, Isaiah Scott, and Xavier Woods. I can switch out Karrion Kross for Liv Morgan if you want.
Yeah, I'll take her now.
Okay.
I thought I had her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she won. That's why I thought I went up with that one.
Yep. Nope. Nope. You
Breeze
lost
is
and you
coming,
won.
baby.
Yep. Yeah.
I thought you meant Tyler Breeze. I was like, oh, here.
Oh yeah, dude. Bring him back.
Austin
Breeze
Theory didn't do
Ango.
much for you this week. He was your gold goose there for a
he
little
was.
He'll be back.
He's got it.
bit. We still got 2 more weeks. We got a 4th week, a 5th week, and then pay-per-view 2.
It's interesting. So how's Survivor Series gonna work? Because like that's a fuck ton of points with all those Survivor Series tag matches.
Yeah. So I mean, dude, it's essentially double points.
Yeah.
Like so they're all specialty matches except for one. So a victory in a specialty match is +6. So tag team victory match is plus. So is the Survivor Series a tag team?
Yeah,
Would
right?
that be considered a tag team?
It's a tag team.
Because you're eliminated. It's an eliminator match. So
Yeah, but you still tag each other in and out.
yeah, so it's it's +6 to each one.
And if I have 3 people per team,
And then also it's
people per team.
considered a specialty match. So I would even throw in the stipulation that the last man standing gets +6, and then the rest of the winning team gets +3.
I don't know. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a little bit.
Dude, it's the last one, man.
I mean, there's
Do
gonna
a
be
blowout, dude. You won 62 points in one fucking pay-per-view. Give us a chance to catch up.
Sure,
He's killing it.
Yeah, no. The man who's like, I fucking suck at drafts. He's getting that inside baseball info. You got your connections. You being a little kid over there. I love
Having
it.
fun, dude. Having
Yeah,
fun.
so I mean, let's go over the Survivor Series card real quick. Survivor Series 2020. Survivor Series 2021. Yeah, because there's only like 4 matches announced for it. So we have the. Why does it keep bringing me to the main one? I don't care.
I can tell you what 2001 was.
What was 2001?
I don't know
Was that
it
Raw
Alliance-
versus SmackDown, or was that?
Alliance versus WWE?
Oh,
WWF.
gotcha.
So they had Stone Cold. They had
Tommy Dreamer.
Probably. I can't remember. I was watching, and they had William Regal split his nose open from a kick from Tajiri. I watched Christian versus Al Snow, which Al Snow was fucking great. God,
Dude,
damn.
I loved Al Snow. My
So
first
fun to watch.
My second screen name ever was a Al Snow. It was Snowplow 987 because that was his finishing move. I loved Al Snow. I always loved those like little mid card job Squad. They were great. So it was Team WWF, which was The Rock, Chris Jericho, Undertaker, Kane, and Big Show defeated the Alliance, which was Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, Rob Van Dam, Booker T, and Shane McMahon.
Yeah, that's what my dog's watching right now.
Do you leave the TV on for that?
Yeah, I leave wrestling on just in case she needs to learn how to defend herself.
Yeah, exactly. I leave NPR on for this little lady right here.
Well, she's intelligent.
Yeah,
my dog's not so much.
Yeah, she's actually wasn't that intelligent last night. I had the laptop on my lap and I was like doing all the card, and she's like, meow, meow,
She give her catnip.
and I was just like, leave me the fuck alone. I also didn't go to sleep until 6 a.m. because I was just up. But anyways, so these are all card subject to change. Team Raw so far is Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Rey Mysterio, Bobby Ashley versus he will always be Bobby Ashley to me. Team SmackDown, which is Drew McIntyre, King Woods, Happy Corbin, Jeff Hardy, and TBA because they just took Sami Zayn off of it. The women's match so far is Raw is Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Carmella, and Queen Zelina. SmackDown is Sasha Banks, Shayna Baszler, Shotzi, Natalya, and TBA because they took Aaliyah out. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair, and then Big E versus Roman Reigns. And then obviously we're gonna get like the tag teams.
Yeah, they'll
stuff
throw
like
them in there somehow.
Yeah.
With no build up.
Yep. Yeah, well, they announced the fucking teams on Twitter because they were like, "Oh, we're gearing up for Crown Jewel. We just did the draft, all this other stuff," and then they were just like,
I feel like Vince just doesn't care about Survivor Series anymore because it's not as big as it used to be, but it's still a big four, so he can't just like get rid of it.
Yep.
like he did with King of the Ring for years.
Yeah.
That's the wind trying to blow my door open.
Okay.
I was like, who the fuck is here?
It's a ghost.
It is
It's
windy.
the ghost of jobbers past.
But I don't know. I mean, I feel like for
What
a
does
while,
everybody
Survivor
want?
Series has been kind of a whatever. Yeah,
like
stinker.
because they would always do the draft and then they would do Survivor Series immediately afterwards. They should do Survivor Series and then do the draft and use the disgrunting or the how upset people are as like reasons for them getting drafted.
Survivor Series used to have cool build-ups. I mean, like the Survivor Series matches were never.
Raw versus SmackDown. It was always like just like team.
But I mean, like there were never anything that didn't meant anything. I think the only time that there was ever one that was anything cool when it was like the Hart family.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
With Davey Hart and Owen Hart.
It was all of them, and then like all the
Got
brothers.
the mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fred Hart.
yeah, Fred Hart kept trying to get on TV and like get in the like when Owen and Brett were like cutting that promo backstage. He's like standing in the middle like.
Yeah, and that's the one where when Brett like turned on the family kind of thing.
Yeah, and started the feud. It was essentially built to just have Owen and Brett go and to push Owen. My favorite Survivor Series memory is Jerry the King Lawler with his little people court versus was it Doink and the Little Doinks? Yeah. The 90s were crazy, man. What's your favorite Survivor Series moment?
Man, that's a good question. I don't know. I was never a big fan of Survivor Series because I just felt like there was nothing really on the line.
Yeah.
And I feel like you always need the belts on the line. But that's just me.
Let's do a random one. Let's do 98. This is SummerSlam.
98 Survivor Series.
Yeah, so the Survivor Series matches for that are The Rock defeated Mankind was the final match.
Yeah.
And then the New Age Outlaws defeated D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry and the Headbangers. There's no Survivor Series match on this at all.
Yeah, they didn't do it for a while, right?
It was tournament first round match, semifinal. Oh, it was for the Rock and Mankind because the Rock defeated Ken Shamrock and Mankind defeated Al Snow with head by submission. But that's weird that they didn't have well, maybe it was like the tournament, like the Survivor Series tournament, like something like a King of the Ring knockoff. Whatever. I don't fucking care. I chose the wrong one.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We have to get wings in a little bit.
Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go do shopping because people are coming over.
I don't know if I have my Sam's Club card. So
Chelsea Green says it's time to explore AEW as an option.
Man, did you see she's doing that like magazine cover? Good for her.
Which magazine?
Playboy.
I know.
Playboy.
Playboy.
but they don't do nudity anymore, so it's like
Penthouse.
Huh?
Penthouse. Like when you
Penthouse.
get the top apartment, like me, I'm in the penthouse of this building.
She's not doing Penthouse, but that'd be
Nah.
cool too.
I don't know.
What's another one? Hustler. Is that a magazine?
They're gone. Yeah,
they're
you know,
gone.
like drug hustler. Like you. Did I ever tell you guys my little shitty thing I did when I sold porn in middle school?
All right, that's where we call it.
Okay. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, the Young and the Restless! Austin 316 says I just